Hello and welcome to the channel. The President and the Vice President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima has called into question the number of votes the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, garnered in some parts of the South and the Southeast. They are crying irregularities and says the vote count was inflated. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Tinubu Shettima objects to Obi's votes in Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Enugu, Imo. President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima are contesting the votes declared for the Labour Party LP on its presidential candidates, Peter Obi, in 630 polling units in Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Enugu, and Imo states. The objection to the votes is premised on alleged irregularities recorded in the affected polling units. An aggregation of the votes in the said polling units will result in 78,200 votes for the petitioners, Obi and LP, and 5,286 for the second respondent, Tinubu. The respondents claim in their joint response to the petition filed by Obi and the LP before the Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC. According to them, upon a deduction of the said votes from the votes of the petitioners and the second respondent respectively from their respectively declared 6,101,533 and 8,794,726 votes, the petitioners will be left with 6,023,333 votes, while the second respondent will maintain a total of 8,789,440 votes. They also faulted the claim by Obi and his party that the vice president-elect was not qualified to stand election on grounds of alleged double nomination. The duo argued that instead it is Obi who was not qualified to contest the election, having not been a registered member of the LP at the time of the election on February 25th. They argued that contrary to claims by Obi and his party, Shettima had already withdrawn his candidature for that Borno Central Senatorial District and ceased to be the nominated senatorial candidate of the APC before becoming the vice presidential candidate of the party. They added that by a notice of voluntary withdrawal dated 6th July 2022, addressed to the national chairman of the APC and executed before a notary public, Emoedume Brai Esquire, on the same day, Shettima notified the APC of the voluntary withdrawal of his candidacy for the Borno Central Senatorial District election scheduled to hold on 25th February 2023. Tinubu and Shettima stated that following the vice president-elect's voluntary withdrawal of his candidacy from the senatorial election, the APC conducted a fresh primary election which produced Barrister Kaka Shehu Lawan as the candidate who went on to contest the senatorial election on the platform of the APC. The primary election that returned the said Barrister Kaka Shehu Lawan was duly monitored by the first respondent, Lawan, who at the time had notice and was duly aware of the withdrawal of the third respondent, Shettima, as candidate of the fourth respondent from the senatorial contest, which said withdrawal was the sole reason for the fresh primary election. The third respondent's selection by the second respondent, Tinubu, as his running mate, qua vice presidential candidate, did not occur until 15th July 2022, a period of at least 9 days after his voluntary withdrawal as the senatorial candidate of the fourth respondent. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. They argued that Obi was not qualified to contest the election on the grounds of his not being a registered member of the LP at the time of the election. They noted that by the provision of Section 77 of the Electoral Act 2022, A political party is mandated to maintain a register of its members, both in soft and hard copies, and make such register available to INEC not later than 30 days before the date fixed for the party primaries, congress, or convention. The second petitioner submitted or ought to have submitted its register of members to the first respondent not later than 30 days before its primary election for the selection of a presidential candidate held on 30th May 2022. As of 30th April 2022, the first petitioner's or B's name was not on the list of members of the second petitioner LP that was submitted or ought to have been submitted to the first respondent. As of 30th April 2022, the first petitioner's name was on the list of members of the People's Democratic Party. At the said time, he had been screened and cleared to participate in the presidential primary election of the People's Democratic Party. It was only after the presidential primary election process of the People's Democratic Party had commenced and the first petitioner willingly put himself up for nomination as the said party's presidential candidate that he subsequently willingly allowed himself to be nominated as the second petitioner's presidential candidate on or about 27th May 2023. Up until the presidential election of 25th February 2023, the first petitioner still remained on the register of members of the People's Democratic Party submitted by the party to the first respondent. They are dead. Tinubu and Shettima equally faulted the claim by Obi and the LP that the president-elect was not qualified to have contested the election on grounds of alleged criminal indictment. They stated, the second respondent, Tinubu, maintains that he was not convicted in case number 93C4483, United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois. The United States of America, through its embassy in Nigeria, had by a letter dated February 4, 2003, addressed to the then Inspector General of Police, confirmed that upon their record checks of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Crime Investigation Center, NCIC, the centralized information center that maintains the records of every criminal arrest and conviction within the United States of America, there were no records of any form of criminal arrests, warrants or warrants against the second respondent. The respondents shall found and rely upon copy of the said letter of February 4, 2003, signed by Michael M. Bonner. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.